If you were to ask me, am I from Israel? Am I a part of Israel? My answer to you, based on if you have asked, I will say, you're asking that question based on a false system or false doctrine. You're asking that based on, I'm asking as a Messianic, I'm asking it as Hebrew roots, I'm asking it as a Ephraimite, I'm asking it for anything that's not kosher Judaism. So your question is a loaded question and not an accurate question on one hand. On the other hand, there is an answer and it is an accurate question, just not as you think you're asking. And that thinking exists on the Jewish side as well. The Jewish answer, what we call party line, would say, no, you're not Jewish. Goodbye, have a nice day. But the irony is there is a Jewish answer, and the more ironic is it sounds Messianic. So it sounds doubly complicated, doubly shady, and yet it's the right answer. So when I say you may have asked, am I from Israel? It is a simple answer, and I always say in my classes, all of my lectures should be 1 minute or 30 seconds long and have a nice life. Right? Am I allowed to learn Torah, Rabbi Katz? Yes, bye. But we can't justify a 30-second class. So am I from Israel? Yeah. But we can't do that. Or, the party line, am I from Israel? No. Okay. So it is simple. If you have asked, am I from Israel, getting rid of the Jewish party line and the non-Jewish rationale of why yes or no, the answer is there are 4 houses of Israel. Right? So at that point of the discussion, forget why you're asking the question, because I've already moved on from why you're asking. You're asking for whatever reason your leader or doctrine has influenced you to ask. I want to be a part of Israel because I want to live in the land of Israel. I want to be Jewish. I want to keep the festivals. That's fine. That drove you to ask. But it doesn't change the fact that you simply asked. You didn't ask, am I Israel so I can keep the festival? If you would have, then the answer is no, and it is no. But you didn't. You asked, am I part of Israel? So I don't need to entertain why you asked the question. I don't need to say, well, what reason would you ask that? Or what festival do you want to keep? That's not my answer. You asked the question, am I of Israel? And I'm just going to answer the question. The answer is there are 4 houses of Israel. Cohen, Levi, Israel, Ger. The 3 first ones are called holy houses of Israel. Call it the Jewish people proper, Cohen, Levi, Israel, based on Deuteronomy 23:3. There's a 4th non-holy house of Israel. That doesn't come as a derogatory. Let's say that women are holy, right? We have the idea of the sacred divine or the feminine. Right? We all know women are a little bit more holy than men, right? We're kind of gross creatures, right? So women are just a little bit more holy. And in fact, in Kabbalah, it teaches that. That's why they don't require circumcision and we do, right? They have less to repair than we do. So does that mean that men are pigs and animals? Well, no, but we're just a little bit less holy than the image of woman. If we're all made in the image of God, the female is less problematic, therefore she does not require circumcision. So the Ger is the same type of thing. In fact, the Jew and the Ger meaning the non-Jew of the Torah, is very male-female. The Jew is very male, the non-Jew is very female. Sometimes it's the other way around. The Jew is very female and the non-Jew is very male. But the idea is one is higher than the other in terms of the male-female, not better or lower. In terms of male-female. And in Kabbalah, the male is higher. Wisdom is higher than understanding. But remember, we're not talking superior higher, right? The top of the waterfall is higher than the pool on the bottom. We don't say that the bottom of the waterfall is flawed compared to the source up above. It's just a fact. A waterfall falls into a pool. With that kind of thinking, at the end of the day, higher and lower in Kabbalah is always equal. Man and woman, Abba and Ima, mother and father, as you call it, are perfectly equal, 2 lovers and never separate. So try not to take offense to a vernacular that can lend itself to being offended or you can take it with an open mind and understand how the world works, even scientifically. With that said, once again, Cohen, Levi, Israel, Ger, non-Jew. That is called, the non-Jew element is called Israel, Israelite, Jewish people proper. But there's a greater Israel, right? If we're saying the third house is Israel, the Cohen, Levi, Israel is also Israel, right? You're a man, but you also exist as mankind, do you not? So you are man, but you're not mankind. You're not everybody. You're man. But there's something called man, Adam. There's mankind. So there's Israel, the third house, Cohen, Levi, Israel. But then there's Israel, and that's Cohen, Levi, Israel. But the surprise element is that in Jewish law, for terms of marriage and other functions of a functioning nation, there's a fourth type of Israel, the non-Jew Ger. When people ask, am I of Israel? The Torah answer is yes. When you keep the 7 laws, you are a proper non-Jew according to Torah, called Ger in the Hebrew, all the different terminologies. You're kosher. Called at the end of the day, you're kosher. Whatever you do to get kosher, watch their videos. How do I become kosher? You become kosher. Okay, now that you are kosher, you are of the what's called the fourth house of Israel. You are connected to Cohen, Levi, Israel. The love story, so to speak, is that there's a Cohen, Levi, Israel, Jewish people proper. At the time of the Mashiach, according to the Ramchal, who was a Kabbalist, the wisdom of redemption is how do we attach this fourth entity, fourth house of Israel, onto the previous 3 houses proper, to make one big Klal Yisrael, where it doesn't lose the distinctions of Cohen, Levi, Israel, plus Ger. They're not just one intermingled, we still maintain the distinction. And before you get offended again, oh, well, so I'm not holy. The Cohen is greater infinitely in holiness than the Levite. The Levite is greater in holiness than the Israelite. The Israelite is greater in holiness than the Gerite, so to speak, right? But, again, the Cohen doesn't brag to the Levite, well, you know, I'm holier than you. And the Levite doesn't look to the Cohen and say, you know, I wish I was holy as you. The Levite is perfectly okay with who he is. And we only describe the holiness in terms of holiness. The Levite never wonders, what would it be like to be as holy as my Cohen friend? The Israelite doesn't wonder, hey, what would it be to be as holy as my Cohen or Levi friend? Because the bottom line is, I'm a Cohen, and you're sitting here. Do I look holier than you? No. Do I talk about I'm holier than you? No. Does it ever come out in life that I'm simply holier than you? No. You know, an athlete is physically superior to me. And it's obvious. You have bulging muscles and they're running fast. You can say, I'm a superior human to you. It's agreed, right? They would be superior human beings in the flesh. Okay, mazel tov. You are physically superior. You're smarter than I am. Your brain is more capacity. Does that mean I'm, the intellectually superior? The bottom line is, there's an infinite amount of categorization that there's a hierarchy, right? There's the smarter, the more equipped, the more caliber, the more talented. I'm not good with a lot of things. I'm good at shechting animals in a temple, and God calls that holy. So I am the holiest. Okay, I can kill a cow better than anybody else on the planet, and then make a bracha, a blessing on it, and it's holy. Mazel tov. And a Levite says, I'm the greatest singer of all time in holy situations. Okay. The Israelite says, I can bring an offering to the temple holier than anybody. Okay. The Ger says, I'm with you guys more than anybody in the world. Okay. So we classify, and the classification uses words that might lend to a yearning for something. And a proper Israel, all 4 houses working together, it just works. There's situations where the Cohen needs holiness to function, and the Levite to function, and the Israelite to function, and the Ger non-Jew to function. You may ask, am I part of Israel? That is the answer. Yes, when we learn how to join with you, and you learn how to join with us, when that comes together, there is one great Israel made up of 4 parts.